trying to free your mind, Neo, but I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it.
What we're looking for today is the Griswold family Christmas tree.
And for the briefest of moments, every last man at Shawshank felt free.
And welcome to the Scene Weekly podcast, where we harken back to our college debate days and pick two movies of the same theme. And eventually, after 25 episodes of doing that, and thinking our shit still doesn't stink, and throwing an award show like The Fly filler episode on Breaking Bad, we have this, Season 2 of the Golden Glasses Awards. Come join Jonathan and Steven for another week of hopefully less plot chatter and copious more film banter. Welcome to our world, and welcome to the Season 2 award show of the Golden Glasses.
Season 2 awards. I love it, man. I absolutely am so excited about this. I even dressed up.
I have a mic. I have a double mic, but this is going to be my award. I'm going to pretend like I'm handing it out to somebody. Like, you get a golden glass. You get a golden glass. And you get 5. This is how I'm going to do this. You look good in a suit.
Thanks, man. You
were
look,
about to not wear one.
Truth be told, I thought you were joking when you texted me that you were going to wear a suit to the Golden Glasses podcast award ceremony. I thought you were joshing me.
It's an awards show.
It is an award show, and we're doing it.
You ever see anyone hand out awards without wearing a suit?
Yeah. I clearly remember my
porn
when I was in
the porn awards. Third grade porn awards. Little early there, Steven.
Third grade soccer class or whatever. I got
and the lipstick award goes to Mr. Rankin.
That's right. But yeah, we're dressed up. We're doing it. I feel good about this.
I feel good about this too. This is exciting. It's rewarding.
It's rewarding. We're shaking things up a little bit. We still have some of the classic categories, but we've decided to mix in a few eccentric ones, if you will.
And I'm going to go ahead and go through the movies that we have. Why don't I do the front half and you do the bottom half?
Okay.
I'm just going to end in Halloween. I'm not wearing my glasses. I don't even know if that's halfway through, but you know what? I think there is no halfway. You got 25.
Yeah.
Can't do the 12 and a half. Starting from the top, we have Lovely Departed versus The Infernal Affairs, if you recall that episode. The One I Love and Problemista, which happens to be a For You. Only Angels Have Wings with Bicycle Thieves, 28 Days Later, and The Train to Busan. McFarlane USA with Will Lear, by the way, and Without Limits of Prefontaine. Life of Pi and Master Commander, The Shawshank Redemption versus one of the greatest movies ever made, The Longest Yard.
Yes.
The Taste of Things, that was excellent on the editing things. Outstanding on nothing else. And The Menu with the next one with probably your two favorite movies of the entire podcast, if I had to guess so far, with Death Note 1 and Death Note 2 with the journey of being a pilgrim. And I feel like that's going to be dead forever. Next is Smashed versus Flight, After Sun versus Tell No One, Drag Me to Hell versus Shaun of the Dead, and Halloween with Friday the 13th Part 2 up. What do you have on the bottom half of yours? I can barely read right now. But
I know, me too. This is tough. But we have the bottom half of this list going with the divorce episode, Dinner with Friends versus The Squid and the Whale. We have the One-Shot Wonders with Boiling Point taking on Russian Ark. Enter the Dragon versus Bloodsport. We had a little martial arts episode. And then we had another round versus Lethal Weapon 2. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and Grumpy Old Men for our live episode. Knives Out versus Clue. The classic Johnny Mnemonic and The Matrix with Man versus Technology. Thor versus Deadpool. Scrooged and Christmas Vacation. We have City of God and Central Station. Did I cover it all? Is that all of them?
Don't we have Brazil, Real Genius, and Being There and Harold and Maude?
Oh, that's right. I missed those two. Thank you for filling those in.
No worries. I hope, those are. I just recently rewatched Knives Out because Sonia hadn't watched it, and we watched it together, and it was one of those movies where she didn't know why we stopped it so many times. like because we tried it like three or four times.
Yeah. Did she enjoy
And
it
then-
the final time around?
Very much so, and so much so that I tried to like just say anything or stop the movie. And, stop it! No, don't stop it! Keep it going! Keep it going! And
That's good.
There were so many twists and turns that she just loved it. And then we watched the Glass Onion after.
Okay.
I hadn't seen it. Not nearly as good and profound. Not nearly as
no.
well put together.
It's it's like when a band comes out with a debut album and it's just amazing, and then you get the second album. It's sometimes not as
called
good.
The sophomore slump.
That's what I was looking for. Thanks for that.
Tribe Called Quest did not have a sophomore slump. Neither did
In your
Saves the
opinion.
Day. I think it's pretty factual. Low End Theory, I think, is considered to be one of the greatest albums of all time, in everyone's opinion, on Earth. Even the people that haven't heard it. So what do we got next, my friend? We have come out with 7 new categories. I can't even recall. But basically, we had 20 categories last time. We were going to go through, provide some clarity into what we believe in this category, whatever the category might be, is the best. And I don't think we need to go through the categories themselves. I think it's going to be fun just to spitball them. But as you might hear and listen and watch to us, there are some typical categories that, the Oscars would be provided, and you would listen to them and say like, oh, this is boring. Well, we have changed a little bit. 7 of these categories, probably a little off the wall. I actually like this much more than last time. And we're probably going to refine it as, I don't know, as how many do we have left of these?
I don't know.
5, probably. One more. Probably see this one more time. Or never. So here we go. Why don't we start off with what I have to say is one of my favorite editions, and hence the reason it being first. We are going to go right to the heart, the crux of what I think is one of the best categories, and who would make the best superhero character. So basically, of the 50 movies that we had, you could choose any of the characters, and you can kind of get creative with it if you so desire to have it that way. But who do you think would be the best superhero character?
Best superhero character out of all of these films, I was looking through or just trying to figure out what, because I don't want to pick, we did superhero movies, so those are kind of off the list. But I went with what you just recently saw, Benoit Blanc. I think he would be a great superhero character. I mean, he's a master detective, super smart. And I love those kind of things,
He literally says, I'm not, I can get you there. I'm a detective, but I can't do anything else. I cannot protect you. I'm not fit for it. So yeah,
that's what he says. I think he's going to be pretty good. He's just so smart. He's like, Batman's the world's greatest detective.
But he
I think
can't
Benoit's
do dumb
right up
things.
there.
Remember, he literally, to his own admission, he says he cannot figure out dumb things. He can only figure out highly intellectual things. So, like dealing with everyday man, he's going to be terrible at.
I can deal with those things, but
so you're a sidekick. You're the sidekick for Benoit Blanc. What's your name?
I'm the oh gosh, I could be Benoit Noir.
Here comes third grade flaccid dick, Stephen Rankin, with Benoit Blanc by his side. All right, sorry, getting a little crude here. Do you want to know?
Benoit gets my glasses award. You got to pass it off to him.
I had a hard time with this one because I wasn't going, of course, to the Deadpool. I mean, that just seems like a silly one, but you can't. I felt like you couldn't do the Bruce Lee too easy, or even like a Bloodsport superhero. Like it's like, okay, nice creativity. I tried my damnedest to go into like the absolutely most ridiculous examples. Like I was thinking of anyone basically at Shawshank Redemption. I was like,
the warden.
It just kind of gets sad.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of get it. You even get more into the movie, like where it's like really sad. It kind of hits you at the saddest moments. And I was like, this wasn't as fun as I was expecting. And then I was thinking Johnny Mnemonic, but you know who I settled on? I feel like he would have been the perfect superhero. He can use his real genius very well. That would be
Ah,
Val Kilmer of Real Genius. I thought that would be perfect. He's like he's
he
one step away from Iron Man.
he basically is. He's apparently very smart, but also kind of a slacker. Um,
Yeah,
you know,
likes
I don't
lasers.
know. He likes lasers. Laser man. What's the next category? What do we got?
So the next one is best editing, and these are in no particular order. I will say, trying to like flesh out would be a fun little row down. But best editing almost got the axe, but I felt like we should keep it. So best editing,
Yeah, what do you
I'll go
got? What do
first
you got
this
for?
time.
Sure.
I had I had a very tough time with this one as well. A lot of these 80% were easy. I actually had a very tough time figuring out the 20%. I've gone back and forth. I have some backups here, as you'll see, so we can give some clarity. But with that being said, I have to provide, I guess, a little bit more detail of the taste of things and the editing of taste and things, the way it was shot and directed. Although I didn't really particularly like the movie, the editing I thought was excellent. So excellent that I'm mentioning it in the fact that there's a
Wow.
potential for there to be a golden glass being provided. But I think in this framework, I thought about it a little more deeply because that's what we're supposed to do. It was clear to me which movie is going to win this, and it's City of God for sure. It's just the best editing of any of these movies, and I think it was made clear after I went all the way down, and it's the third to last row, and I was like, oh, clearly, it's City of God. So
Can't really argue that one. Can't pick that one apart because it's a correct answer. Um, but I went a little different. And yeah, I was toying around with some of the, I guess, upper echelon
Thor.
films that you would find. Yeah, Thor. But I went action, and if you can, set a movie on a train and keep it interesting and action packed, I thought the editing was fantastic in Train to Busan, and that
The
gets the Golden
editing in
Glasses
Train to
Award for
Busan,
me.
huh? Interesting.
Yeah,
That's fascinating. I mean, it doesn't really require. It's like the same editing tool. It's like snip, snip, put together. Snip, snip, put together. Fast time, slow time. Okay, we're done. Whereas City of God was like small snip, a little bigger snip, huge snip here. Anyway, some people are right, some people are wrong, and some people are just well off the mark. Where's your golden glass, by the way? You don't even have them to be giving out to people. I
it's
do have
lost
to
in the mail.
yeah.
Can you do?
So what do we have next? What do we got?
Next up, we have best should be a meme.
Oh,
Now, explain to me, what do you think this is about, or explain it to the
so
viewers, I guess.
this to me, regrettably, now that the fact that there's a meme for, it seems like anything on Earth, and like if you were to say like there should be a meme for this, well, I'm of the age of 43. There probably is. On one, I googled it, I couldn't find it too quickly, but to me, it was like the meme that should take over another meme. But then the kids will understand what it's actually like trying to provide. But basically, a scene in a movie that could be replicated to be provided to other people in social media that could be a meme. Do you know what a meme is? Richard Dawkins, I believe, coined this phrase. You know what a meme
Yeah,
is?
I know what
You've
a
seen
meme
memes.
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but that's the premise. Part in the movie that should be a meme.
Okay.
What do you think?
I have mine, and I did scour my brain for what I thought could be a meme and could be funny and viral as well. And I don't think it's
Okay.
definitely not a meme. But I'm going with The Longest Yard, and I'm taking Terry Crews and his McDonald's fascination. And he's got this quote. He's got this quote that I think could or
Yeah.
should be a meme, and it's, "I got those fries that will cross your eyes," and that's just
Yeah.
fantastic.
I have that would be great. There's an endless supply of things that you can actually give an answer to here. That's a terrific one in which that goes hand in hand with one of my later golden glasses being provided to another section of things. I actually went with planes, trains, and automobiles when their car is on fire off the interstate. And I felt
Ah,
like that meme should take over the one. I think it's SpongeBob. Didn't even never seen this cartoon in my entire life, but I've seen this meme like a million times. And it's basically some guys in a kitchen. His whole house is on fire. Cartoon sitting down stoically, and like the words are, "This is fine." So like
this is
the
fine.
whole world, yeah, the whole world is like crumbling basically in front of you, and this is fine. That's how I felt like it should be. Like what led up to their car being on fire was just, you know, they'd given up on each other both basically. Um, that would be my meme. The
You
takeover,
should
the
create
kids
it.
meme. Yeah, and then people are like, I don't know what this means.
This doesn't. Yeah,
What are planes, trains, and automobiles?
look it up during Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
please.
I got to go first, though. Actually, I got to go second. You got to go first. But the best scene stealer, you love this. This you're so adamant about stealing scenes and other people stealing, and I don't know what it is, but your childhood has led you to believe that you are now a thief of scenes, and everyone should be too. Who do you think the best scene stealer was?
Yeah, so I love this award, and I think there's there could be a number of answers on this for a list of movies here, but to me, the number one scene stealer that just every time this person came in, and it was only a few times in the movie, it was hilarious and it was fantastic. And I have to go with Larry Owens, who played Craigslist on Problemista.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
It's pretty
good.
good.
It's very strange. um, you know, for a second, I thought you were gonna say the dolphin from Johnny Mnemonic.
They
I
crossed my
literally,
mind.
because I thought about it, I was like, I wonder if he's gonna do this because this would be like the dolphin did really seal the scene, right? All the scenes. It's like the oddest. I don't know. I still don't understand that movie, but nonetheless, we'll
I
still
mean, and
get
the
credit
dolphin
for it.
killed Dolph Lundgren, so I mean, it stole the movie, not the scene.
Oh, you know,
What you got?
this is not ironic. Every single time that he was there, I felt like warm and fuzzy in a dark type of way, but it was like a scene stealer where anything that could be existing was being taken away by Ryuk, Death Note.
Oh,
And that's
God.
my favorite scene stealer from all of season 2.
Oh,
I mean, like,
wow.
who else could it be? What a scene stealer. Like, quite literally, just every time he's on, eating apples, be like, wow, looking to eat this apple. Just terrific. Like,
Yeah, it was
so
definitely.
good that even bad CGI, he could still steal scenes from humans.
Yeah, that was
Unreal.
very unreal. Yeah, very, very unreal.
So our next
Uh,
category is also one of my favorites. A little interesting, but wait, why was that so sexy?
I'm
And why
curious to
don't
know
you
what you.
explain? Why don't you explain this? This is your category and your creation. So I think you should go first. Explain how you came up with this and what you were thinking about in third grade.
I, I'm just thinking, you have like at the MTV Movie Awards, they have like Best Kiss, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I was thinking of something along the lines of like it doesn't have to necessarily be a romantic scene or it could be anything like um, whatever
Eating a
your
donut.
heart desires. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Even a Death Note, him licking the lollipop, that could be
Ooh,
something you're thinking,
changing.
changing it right now. But yeah, I mean, it's time to get a little sexy. And what better way than talking about a scene that kind of exuded that?
Here, borrow my glasses. Who do you got?
I have to go with the best, sexiest scene that I could think of is in The Taste of Things, and when he's making her a meal, and it's just so delicate, and it's so for her, tailored for her, because she does all the cooking, and now it's his turn to provide for her. Amazing.
Is that because you like to cook and you do that for a living?
It might have something to do with that. Yeah, I don't know. But
You're like making the story for your own background kind of thing, like selling yourself. Hey, it's really sexy now for men to be cooking for women. You hear that? And then like you're gonna be on the other end writing Medium articles. It's really sexy now for men to be cooking. And then you're like posting it on your own social media, and then it gets a following, and now people are gonna start flocking to your restaurant and being like, "Oh, Steven, you're so handsome and sexy." Is that what you're trying to do?
I'm not gonna lie. I think the evolution of the TV show The Bear has definitely helped me out a little bit. People have a new
it,
fondness for that.
it probably does. You'd have to work out a little more. But that being said,
Excuse
I
me.
chose. You see my speaking of limp microphones.
I know all about that. Yeah.
That literally, it's just. I gotta move over here now. It's a brand new boom mic. So I this was instantaneous for me, and one
Oh,
in which I
really?
wasn't trying to think of pretty much anything. I was just thinking of just what women loved back when this came out and what men tried to replicate when it came out. And to me, there's a clear answer, and it should be universal here. And it's Jean-Claude Van Damme doing any amount of splits in Bloodsport. And that's it. He's exercising, sure, but we're like, ooh, wait, that's pretty sexy. And now he's doing it in a Volkswagen commercial, right? I was like, come on. How this is the sexiest thing like anyone ever in the world has done, probably.
I mean, he did bring the splits into the mainstream, into the culture in the '80s, right? Like
When
that's
has something that sexy been universal on the both side of men and women? And the fact that like everyone's in the world is trying to do a split, like a gymnastic split, is hilarious, but pretty sexy.
agreed. Can't argue with that.
And the next one
Good.
I'm going to have to go for, which is probably my favorite of these awards, is the Barry Wood Award. And I'll explain that to you if you don't know who Barry Wood. He is a nice gentleman that has passed away, and I think Tom Segura and Christina P have done a lot of things for the family, but he is the man that basically is sitting on the bed with a very large penis hanging out. And it's just created a meme that is unstoppable. And so my idea for the Barry Wood Award would basically be a man who is providing that BDE, that big dick energy, that energy on screen that is undeniable. And it's not a scene stealer, but it's just like the whole movie is just big dick energy.
It's like me on this podcast.
And yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. You're bringing the sexy back to food. And so me, the Barry Wood Award has to go to my one and only, multiples of names, but Chauncey Gardner from Being There. He has got that big
Wow.
dick energy.
I didn't think you'd go there with that, but
Dude, he shows
I
up.
don't.
He goes and talks to the president. Everything just got that big dick energy. If you got that big dick energy, it'll take you places. That confidence, that riz.
It's true. I mean, again, I can't argue with that.
We can.
He
It'd be
had
great if
he
you
had
would.
women. Well, he had women wanting to sleep with him, and he wanted to change the channel. I don't think he even knows how to use the BDE. Like that's the
Hey, it's so ingrained in him. It just happens naturally.
it just happens, man. Okay, I see that. But I'm going another step in the other direction here. Um, and only one name came to me, and only one character came to me in this whole experiment of the Barry Wood Award, and that's Jack. It's Jack Nicholson in The Departed. He
Hmm.
is bringing that big dick energy.
That sounds like big fish energy. Yeah, he had some actual big dick energy. Yes, he did.
He
Yeah,
did until he
I
got
could see
off.
that. I could see that. There are multiple big dicks. It appears, but only
It
one
appears
berry.
so.
Only one berry. So you want to explain your next one? It's not hard to understand.
Yeah, this one is called "Did I Take an Edible?" And it's where you're
By
watching
the
a
way,
movie.
my favorite of all of the categories. So you've created my favorite of any of them. This is the best. Like, did I take an edible? Which could be of like various ways to take it. Like, is this a movie? What happened to them? Like, I like the interpretive moment here.
Yeah, and I'll go first on this one. And there's actually quite a few movies that you could pick on this, which is a fun thing to talk about. And I'm curious to see what you did. But for me, when I came up with this category, I was thinking of this movie, or more importantly, the podcast that we did and the pilgrimage you took me on. And it's both Death Note 1 and 2. Uh, I felt like I was high the entire time.
That's so good, man. It's for some people, you need a little bit of an exit. I think sometimes you take your life a little too seriously. Take an edible, take a little load off in your brain, have a little moment to yourself for the next 3 hours. I had a tough one with this one. I went immediately to Problemista, to be fair,
Yeah.
and at points it just didn't get weird enough. I guess the high wasn't. It was basically like taking a 2 milligram edible versus 100, and the difference between these two movies. And when I got down finally to the bottom, I realized clearly the movie is Brazil, because what chaos is this of, like, Robert De Niro is mending wall, like, it just doesn't, none of it makes sense, none of it's been done before. Then the director of Terry Gilliam will almost always make you say, have I taken an edible? Like, is the edible hitting right now? Like, I don't know. So Brazil, it's Brazil for me. It's only one.
Yeah, I kind of want to now take an edible and watch that movie.
I don't know. Might be too
Could be
scary
fun.
for you.
Maybe. But in any case, yeah, Brazil's definitely one of those movies.
It's a weird one.
For sure. But I'm glad I watched it. Let's see. What is next on this? Are we
Heavy
going back to
hitters.
heavy
Pausing
hitters?
it for a second. So we got best actor and best actress. Very basic. They're in the middle of the road here, quite clearly. But I am very curious to see what you have on half of this. So I want you to go first. Can you go first for me, please? In the best actor or actress, either one.
I'm
Second,
like,
I guess.
like, this is like, I'm opening the envelope and I don't know who's gonna take it, because I'm still kind of on the fence on some of these. But
Nonsense.
nonsense. I'm going, opening it up. The winner is Mr. Denzel Washington in Flight.
Oh, wow. We talked
I
about
think his
this.
performance
Wow.
was
Yeah,
fantastic.
it was good. We talked about it on the podcast. You guys can go check it out. Yeah, I think, didn't he get nominated for it as well? I don't think it was that great. It was probably in a year that, like, didn't have very much going on. But look, Denzel's terrific. Maybe I'm just comparing it to his other stuff. But nonetheless, to me, there's only one here, and that's in the entirety of the world. And the best actor was Peter Sellers in Being There. And that's it. I think I've said this in the most recent podcast, but that's it. There's only one here. And in the words I've chosen in that podcast, I can't say anything other than Peter Sellers and Being There. And I'll leave it at that. Best actress, though, had a little bit of trouble with this one. Went through the entirety probably 3 times. Like, I could choose all of these human beings. Was trying to make Death Note work.
Oh my gosh.
Trying my damnedest, but it didn't allow itself to be provided as an answer. But with that being said, my nomination is a Ruth Gordon, Harold, and Maude. Because I just loved her so much. Terrific.
It's a great pick.
Like a character I've never seen before and I haven't seen since.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I can't because Ruth Gordon is amazing as Maud.
You agree
But
with that as even providing the golden glass is?
I mean, we could both give it to Ruth Gordon, and I'd be happy with that. Totally happy.
Well, if you're saying you agree with it, then I think that you should say, "Oh, I agree," and she got it from me too. Like Mario.
Yeah, let's give her the. I had another nomination in mind, but I like Ruth Gordon as the best.
What's your
actress.
second? Who's got second place?
My second was Frankie Corey, and I think she did a great job as playing the little girl. But she's playing a little girl, and she's a little girl. So
you should be able to provide the little people some awards, and you should be able to provide, I don't know, cartoons, for example, Boy and the Heron awards. You should be able to do this. Open your
I agree.
your mind's eye. Look at you. All right, so I believe this is your category. You want to go into this?
Yeah, this next category is I can't believe I like this. It's one of those movies where you don't really know what you're getting into when you start watching it, and you end with a good feeling at the end of it.
And why did you choose Death Note?
I did not. You're giving me the wrong envelope here. That's not what I picked.
Have this one.
But what did you think about this category? Who did you nominate?
You know, I had seen the movie, but it had been so long, and I'm very anti the entire genre that I was shocked to and it very pleasantly surprised. So much so that I could probably give this to other movies. Maybe not, actually. I mean, I think this is pretty clear. To me, it was Halloween. The whole genre of horror just kind of stinks. Never really liked it, but didn't really pretty much remember other than Jamie Lee Curtis is in it and some dude walking around and a mask that happens to be from Star Trek. Just didn't care. And then watched it. I was like, wow. Even the first 5 minutes, I can't believe I like this. This is great. And I got to the end and I was like, I can't believe I like this, but I will only be watching Halloween Part 1 and not the rest.
It's not making you go down the rabbit hole of all the Halloweens.
No, because I know it's going to just be bad, you know? Or maybe it won't be. I don't
know. Me? I'm going off of one that it was a For You film that when you sent me a text message of it, and I had never heard of it, I didn't look anything up about the director or anything like that. I was not looking forward to going into it. And that's the one I love. Just based on the title, I did not think I was going to like this movie at all. And I really did enjoy it.
You're very judgmental. You know that? It's a good movie.
Yeah, it is a good movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's most of these, they were chosen as movies that we would probably like, hence the reason for this podcast entirely. But yeah, things that still surprise you even if you've seen them before in the past. And hold my beer, ladies and gentlemen. This is of that meme where people do somewhat of a crazy thing, and then the next person goes, hold my beer, I'm gonna one up you. And maybe that's a 3-up. You can go as far up as you possibly like and take those edibles. But with that being said, I thought in the writing of this character, it just was it was just so outrageous and almost annoying. But then each time it kept iterating on itself, it was just getting funnier and funnier. And it just was everyone collectively who wrote this movie, I don't even know who wrote it. It was just hold my beer, next line, hold my beer. And that was Cheeseburger Eddie from The Longest Yard. Every time McDonald's was mentioned, it was this is outrageous. Just hold my beer. We got one more. Hold my beer. We got two more. What is? They can't have any more, do they? They do. Oh snap! God, what's happening? That was it for me.
The joke will never get old
Yeah,
because
it's
it's just
so
going to
good.
keep going and keep going. It's a good one. Um, the hold my beer moment for me was, and it has to be the scene where Steve Martin is berating the rental car lady.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's
Just hold my
really good.
beer. Let me go off on her.
Yeah,
And if you haven't seen that movie or that scene, I suggest you watch it now.
that's really good. That's actually that's an excellent. I stand by mine, but that's an excellent choice.
It was
In the
the
perfect
second place.
receiver.
Yeah, the second place on that would have been Chevy Chase in the Happy
Yeah, yeah,
Christmas.
yeah, yeah. That was a good one too. Um,
So
and we got a basic one next. Best director. Back to the norm. What do you think?
yeah, best director.
Who directed best
Uh,
here?
I mean, I'm going. Maybe it's recency bias. I don't know, but I'm going Hal Ashby with
Woo!
both the films that we discussed.
Wow, look at that. With what movie?
Oh, do I have to
You got to
pick one
choose,
now?
right? Yeah.
I'm going Harold and Maude.
Okay, as you should. I thought
What you
we're gonna
got?
be fence in here. My best director. Not trying to be silly. Is the totality and preparation for this is monumental. Years, timing, impeccable, planning, extremely difficult. People are exhausted. And that's Alexander Sukharov from Russian Ark. And I just can't imagine being able to be anywhere on that movie and having to do anything on that movie in any way, shape, or form. But being the director has got to be the most impossible job in any directing history of a movie. It's got to be tough. Maybe Jaws, also tough. Alexander Sukharov. It's a good one.
Yeah, I thought maybe that was going to go into the editing category for you, but directing, I can see. But yeah, that'd be like I said on the podcast, man. Like directing, it's scary, but even being like an extra and like you slip and fall on minute 58.
You're
Woo!
you ruin. What if somebody has like projectile vomit or diarrhea? What happens then?
I
It's
mean,
going in.
it's going in. That's what we're keeping. It's
Hopefully not
becoming
in
a horror
somebody's
film
mouth.
now.
And the I could smell this scene award, which I am also a big fan of. The I could smell this scene award. Can't even say this for the second time. I could smell this scene award for Golden Glass. What do you think? You could smell the scene. You saw it. You're like, wow, I've been there before in this moment of whatever that character or characters are encountering. I smell it. I feel it in my limbs, my limbic
Yeah,
system, my
my
olfactory.
initial thought process on this was either like McFarlane USA, like cross country meet. Like I could smell
Yeah,
that. You know, I've been there.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
done that. I know
yeah.
what that smells like.
But it's been too long for
Um,
you now.
oh, but yeah, you're right. That's correct. It has been a while. Thanks for reminding me.
So what do you got?
Uh, I'm going back to Christmas Vacation and the opening of that turkey. A
I
dry
hope your
ass
dad.
turkey.
I hope your dad doesn't watch this, in particular this episode.
Oh
Woo,
man.
boy, that turkey this last Thanksgiving was it was in there for a while.
Sure was.
Did you taste it? Your father's turkey?
Still chewing on it.
Yeah. Man, I am too. All right. So,
Love you, Dad.
going past that one. So for me, I was just thinking of one of my friends had done this after watching this movie when they first got a car. and so I know this smell, and it's disgusting. It's even worse than you might imagine. But in Grumpy Old Men with the fish being tossed into somebody's, like, anywhere in their car, but just tossing into their trunk, for example, would be a highest of stench. I've seen people do it with crabs as well, but in Florida, you can imagine this smells horrendous. But I
that
remember
smell doesn't go away.
Yeah, the crab one in particular, which was done to me, that stayed for a bit after multiples of cleaning. Not very fun. I guess this would be a good time to be like, "How'd you get your crabs?" That's what I would have said to you, or made some joke about. What was her name? And this is the guy
Missed
who's
that.
taking improv. I guess that's why he's taking it.
Haven't taken a class yet. Just you wait until I get a class under my belt. Get some tutelage on this.
And speaking
Gonna
about
be
under your
rapid
belt,
fire.
that Barry Wood Award.
Yeah, I remember I went on a camping trip one time in college, and I left some sausages and things like that in the car over a long weekend, and it was in Georgia and the heat.
Oh,
And I couldn't get that out of my Jetta for a long time.
like scratched windshields.
You remember that Jetta?
Like scratched windshields, yes.
Yeah.
Guess I'm not getting that joke either. Anyway, movie that could become a themed restaurant. I like this.
I like this one too.
And what movie do you
There's a
think
lot
would
of-
be best as a themed restaurant? I
so
could go every which way with this, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many great choices. In our plethora of movies, I was thinking Master and Commander would be fun. You could even go to the Menu and just straight on, kind of horror themed restaurant where you might die. But I mean, we did 3 zombie movies on this one, and I'm going Shaun of the Dead, where the waiters just kind of are all zombies, right?
Yeah.
Serving you, might try to take a bite out of you.
Yeah.
And then the menu would be representative of that, of just severed limbs, but like are tastefully done kind of things.
I'm glad I didn't choose yours because that was my immediate reaction. I wanted like violence, so I actually went through almost all of the bad ones, like Halloween and Shaun of the Dead, and I was like, this would be pretty fun. And then I started thinking, like, visualizing, like, what would this look like? Would I actually go to a restaurant like that? And I'm like, no, I wouldn't. So I made it in particular to what I would want to see, not what the humans of Earth would like to see. And I'm double dipping, maybe even triple dipping, but Brazil, and just the weirdness that is, and not necessarily the restaurant scene there, but like the weirdness of, I don't know, your waiters are flying to you with strange wings and silver armor would be pretty cool, like a Cirque du Soleil type Brazil effort. That'd be pretty slick. You can even have terrorists come by with your like dessert that explodes and it's just like a cake. I don't know. It'd be fun.
You saw the food in that movie, right?
Yeah, it's delicious.
It looked.
Some may call it slop. Some may call it dinner.
I mean, your food costs would be really good. Like, it'd probably be a profitable restaurant if you're serving that.
Maybe it's caviar. Maybe it's that dive bar caviar.
Okay, all right. Yeah, Brazil. I don't know if I would want to frequent that restaurant at all. But in any case, what's the next award we got?
The best potential video game adaptation, and my favorite, if you just go back, I don't know, 10 episodes. I'm not changing this. It's not being changed. And the best is absolutely Lethal Weapon 2. And it is the best video game adaptation, or at least on my desire. You have everything. You have crime and people that are going to attempt to solve it and prevent it in the future. And then you have, just Riggs and Murtaugh as characters, and having any dialogue between them would be absolutely terrific. That's my pick. I want to play that, actually. I don't
Would it
even
be
play
like
video games.
Like a first-person shooter, or
no?
What do you think?
No, it'd be a mixture of like Halo, where you can shoot, but like taking a step back. Not a side scroller, but it would be. I don't even play enough video games to give you a proper example. Crash Bandicoot. Can we just say it's like that? Similar to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 A 3D scroller that goes into, yeah, I got it. Um, I went kind of a different route on this. I like the Lethal Weapon too, but I remember back in the day playing arcade games and playing NBA Jam, and I love that game, like where you could like dunk from half
Yeah.
court and things like that. And I'm thinking of
It's one of
like
the best games ever.
turning that kind of style of sports, but using the longest yard and just like having a football video game on the gridiron of a jail and having all those characters there. Be
You could have
fantastic.
like you could have NBA Jam mixed with like Tricky, which is like
Yeah.
the outrageous things that are able to be done with the most asinine characters possible. It would be like Grand Theft Auto with NBA Jam on a football field. That would be so ridiculous.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
going for.
I wish people could like make these things like just pop into your head. AI, you need to get better. You hear me talking
Keep
shit
calling
about
on
you?
AI.
So,
uh,
best WTF moment, which there were a lot of. There were a lot for me at least. And I'll go first. And to go back to it, it could have been used in a multitude of ways, but the dolphin and Johnny Mnemonic, I just, I still don't comprehend. Like, what the fuck is happening? What happened? Did I take an edible? It's just so odd. And the people on planet Earth who follow us have told me that the entire backstory, it seems, to this goddamn dolphin, who I don't care at all about. But the fact is, it's still strange. I'm just pointing out that it's a weird one, and it's a WTF moment for
I,
sure.
I mean,
Golden glass.
I will have to reference one of our TikTok commenters trying to persuade us and letting us know that dolphins are very smart and they were used apparently in World War II to disarm bombs on submarines or something like that.
Completely
So
unrelated to the fact that Johnny Mnemonic is a sea. Like, it makes no sense. We get it. We get it. They're smart. But you ever seen it anyway? What the fuck, man?
what the fuck? I can't argue with that. I can't because that's exactly what I would have thought. I would say a runner-up is just things that happen in the menu, especially like the tortilla
Oh yeah, yeah.
imprint and them just becoming s'mores at the end. It's all leading up, so it's not totally what the fuck, but it's like a breadcrumb of what the fuck moments.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of WTF, mate, in that.
WTF?
And we left it
Okay.
in. I actually thought I was canceling this one, but we didn't. It's still here. And that's best haircut. Look at us. Keep it in the hair. Who's got the best hair, my friend?
I
Who do
mean,
you think?
there's again just one correct answer, and it's
I agree.
it's the transformation in the middle of the film when Benny dyes his hair, and he's just looking so fucking cool. And it's Benny in City of God.
You like City of God. It's a good one. I think though pre Without Limits is the go-to. What a handsome fella. That little long lashes.
With the
Mm.
mustache or without the mustache?
I don't like mustaches, but not a big fan of a mustache on anyone but Michael Jordan. And it's pre Without Limits for me.
Why
Yeah,
Michael Jordan?
I don't know. He just looks good.
He can do no
You know,
wrong. He can do
pretty
no
much.
wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. All
All
right,
right.
guys. We have three hard hitting categories with best screenplay, best picture, and finally our Golden Glasses Award. And they're all basic, but up until this point, pretty much nothing has been, I would say. But with that being said, these are, and especially the last one, what would be the most near and dear picture to our heart, and not necessarily objectively what the best picture is. And the best picture to us is basically going to be that. It's going to be that objective, what we think on an objective scale is. But the near and dear Golden Glasses Award, which I like a little more, is what to us the movie over the 50 times we've seen these films, 50 movies, is our Golden Glasses Award, the one we enjoyed the most from the 50. So what do you have for best screenplay? What's your first?
Yeah, best screenplay. There's a lot of good screenplays on this list, but the best to me is the one that delivers the line, Get Busy Living or Get Busy Dying. It's The Shawshank Redemption. Best screenplay.
Great screenplay. Wasn't even going to be listed as a Golden Glass Award winner. Isn't that wild? Didn't want to be that podcast.
Oh, come on.
Strange. Which still hasn't been produced, but nonetheless, great pick. I chose something else because just on the totality of things, it had big dick energy, and that is The Departed. I feel like the collection of stories intertwining and working out, and just the characters and who are providing the lines got its voice from that script.
Yeah. The Departed.
I think it also won an Oscar for the script, but I can't recall.
It's wicked good. Wicked good. Best screenplay. I love it. All right. What's next is Best Picture.
Best Picture. So, what do we got?
This was a tough one for me.
Well, you tell me. Why is it tough?
Because there's a lot of good movies on this season. Top tier. But Best Picture for me, probably seen it now 10 times.
Oh my word.
And every time, just love the movie. That's City of God.
You see it 10
Best Picture.
times?
Something like that, yeah.
Wow. Unreal. Yeah, it's all right. You know, it has its pluses and minuses, you know. So my Best Picture is definitely off the reservation. It's something that you probably are never going to entertain. I've seen it about 10 times since on your recommendation that I go back, and it's After Sun.
Shut the fuck up. Now you're trolling. Now you're just trolling. But it's locked
really
in.
Enjoyed it.
It's locked in.
It was terrible. And I have to agree that quintessentially, objectively, the Best Picture is City of God.
Yeah.
After
Sun's close, though, right?
I just want the sun to go down forever.
Oh, my gosh.
And the Golden Glasses go to one and only your favorite movie. Your enjoyable matter of life gives substance to this podcast. What made you super excited about during, after, wanted to talk about it? What was your movie of strength for the Golden Glasses Award in season 2, Steven?
My Golden Glasses goes to the one, the only, Brazil.
Look at that. I thought you were going to say the one and then I love, and I was waiting.
No, I mean, that was pretty good. But I mean, again, it's mainly always going to be a movie that I haven't seen that's going to get the Golden Glasses because it's going to be a fresh watch. Not always.
Weird,
we'll see on that.
Very strange standard. You shouldn't say standards like that. I think you should always be open.
I'm going to be a closed book on that one. But yeah, it's Brazil. I enjoyed it immensely. The weirdness of it, the just strange story, the performances, Robert De Niro just coming in there. Yeah, that's it. What Golden Glasses for Jonathan? What are you giving out?
Well, why don't we close the book on this season 2? Hopefully we have another season. We shall commence mightily. I probably won't even have a new suit by then. So you're probably just going to be looking at me in the new shirt. We should go bare chested next time. See how that works.
I have to shave.
That's okay. So my favorite is not a new watch. It's one I've seen many times. I can take into consideration both movies that I have seen and movies that I have not seen because I have feelings and emotions and a gut. Doesn't have to be a new gut or that old gut. It could be a mixture of the two guts. I could have that prebiotic and that probiotic, and you should have both. Because if you do not, you might get sick. Kids. And my favorite, the last movie I've seen of the entire season 2 here is Harold and Maude. Near and dear Golden Glasses. You are the Golden Glass Award winner. Ding.
It's a good choice.
Yay! Hooray! Hooray!
We need to get a clap track and a laugh track.
Yeah. Can we add that? A laugh track
Maybe some
when you say things.
Maybe some booze. We could do some booze too.
No
Boo.
booze. Oh, those types of booze.
Yeah.
Can't have you drinking on the podcast anymore.
No, we don't do that.
And there we are. Till season 3. And what do we have next week? Actually, 4 a regularly scheduled planned.
In this world, there's two kinds of people, my friend. Those with loaded guns and those who dig. You dig.
It's a little preview of what we got coming.
Can't say what it is. We'll see. But I'm excited.
We shall see. Me
Till
too. And then we're
next
doing
season.
next season. We'll see you then.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
I'm trying to free your mind, Neo, but I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it.
What we're looking for today is the Griswold family Christmas tree.
And for the briefest of moments, every last man at Shawshank felt free.